Alright, hello, it's been a long time. Not really, it's been like 10 days. But in my line of work, I don't know what time is anymore. Uh uh um I mostly make stuff. Well, lately I've been making I make whatever I want, but like I I I either make like things like where I talk about things I'm doing, or I make a video or something, and some of the video gets big, and I'm like, why did people watch this video? I don't get it. But it, it's cool. It's cool that people watched Design for the Screen. This is not one of those, so get ready to be disappointed. So this is a Magic Black update, and I want to talk about again. I've been busy. I've been this like the last 2 months. I work, and then I come home and I design. I do stuff, and sometimes it takes like a couple hours to really design. I'm doing like patterns and stuff, and I'm designing curves or waves or something, and it takes like hours to really fine tune it. So it's getting slow, and I keep saying like at some point, at some point, we will have an update, and I don't want to be like, at some point, TM eventually will have an update, but that's kind of how it is. All right, we're up. Like TM, we have an update. Like something eventually happens. So what I've been doing some graphical things. I've been changing some stuff, but I've been changing how this enemy works with rank. So this is a very basic enemy. This enemy shows up, and whether or not you kill him or not, he explodes. Right? The orb, the way you fight the orb. With the orb can nullify this, but that's part of like the game design, right? So what I'm trying to do is change something. So what you see here is this is max rank, right? I'm gonna get hit, right? Take a hit. I'm gonna let this. I don't want the recovery to mess up. Restart, and we're gonna let him blow up again. All right, I get hit, right? Now I'm at like, this is about like what, 1 rank maybe. Hard to say. So we go down. Okay, he shows up, and he blows up. There's a bit of a frame stutter there. All right, we're good. So now we're below 1 rank, right? So now, when he shows up, the pattern will be different, right? Because this is the pattern at 1 rank. So what I've been trying to do, and this is tough because this isn't a popcorn. This is like the extended popcorn. So the standard popcorn blows up in a certain way, and this is supposed to be like the bigger popcorn, right? So there's popcorn that's suicide bullets, and then there's this one that also suicide bullets, but it's more of a area style, whereas the normal popcorn fires targeted suicide bullets, right? They're true suicide bullets. These are explosion suicide bullets, and maybe I think in black I want to have it so when they blow up, they create an orb, and the orb fires out extra shots too. That will be cool. I have to design that though, and black is still a work in progress. I mean, this isn't a finished thing, so it doesn't matter. This might be a year or two down the line. I don't really care. I'm just doing this for fun. Like, I don't really care if it ends up like good or not. I just want to make something for having fun. But anyway, I'm trying to I come home from work, and I'm trying to like figure out like, okay, so I have this. It's a very simple radial pattern. It's like the code is like, I take the amount of time divided by 360 or something, so it ends up perfectly circle. So in earlier versions of the thing, there'd be just multiple shots that it would just have 3 of these of these shots. There'd just be 3 of those shots, and I thought it was too easy to dodge at a high rank if it was 3 and they're the same spot, and so I didn't want it to be like that. And so I'm trying to maybe as rank increases, I make it a curve instead of just a radial shot, but it's hard to, it's fine tuning. It's hard to say. I know it's like stupid. It's like I haven't put out a pug beta yet, and every single piece of footage of this game is just me showing it. But I don't usually. I don't think I show my footage. I show my footage pretty abstracted. I show it like on like the wave level. I don't like edit and show like clips. Like I think a big criticism of games, indie games, is that they do highlight reels, and I am not one of those people. I do show how the meat is made to some degree. Like it's just like that's just my attitude is like I'm more curious in making things like in terms of the mechanics of philosophically and all the things. So I'm more interested in like the nitty gritty details than just like, oh, it looks cool, do you want to buy it? So I don't know. No, I could just be crazy. Anyway, so I have been working on some other stuff, and this is tangentially related. It won't be in the demo, but I do want to just show. I've been working on some other things, and I want to show because I kind of there was an earlier video I made where I teased at this that nobody watched, and I don't really care. It doesn't matter. Nobody watched it. We're talking about the earlier versions of this game, where this game started. Now, this game started very differently than as it is now. It wasn't horizontal originally, despite me being a big horizontal fan. And it was a tank game. The concept of the tank game was that you have a tank that fires. I haven't made the bullet yet. You fire. You have a slow. Slow is a special function. So for this, I do have the code for this. So I set the code up real quick. This is the slow function, which is a burn, which burns enemies, which has the same function as the orb in Magic Black does. It's where it burns the enemy no matter. Well, it's different in this version of the game. It burned the enemies no matter what their health was. It burned them. In Magic Black, the orb doesn't just totally destroy them, and it'll only destroy them based on a certain threshold of health. So you have to like hit them multiple times with the orb in Magic Black for it to actually work on bigger enemies. But in this version of the game, this just destroyed every enemy like instantly, and but the scoring wasn't good, and that was a really fast transition. In the earlier footage, you can see it's a little slower. Again, this is just like really fast. I made this real quick. I had the code. I threw it together, but I didn't. I'm gonna tweak. I want to tweak it, so I'm making some changes. This one, when you slow down, you can see the I gotta change that so the particles don't emit. But when you slow down with this, the cannon on top moves and it targets the biggest enemy in a random. So in a wave, in this version of the game, there are waves. There's small and big enemies, and the small enemies don't get targeted by the cannon when you're in slow mode with this guy, with this tank. But the big ones do, and when you shoot the big ones with this cannon, because like so you hold the cannon. And you wait, and it fires after a certain amount of time. It locks on and it fires. And when you destroy a big enemy with this cannon, then anything in a certain radius will also blow up. So the concept of the game is that you switch between these two tanks for different waves, and certain tanks would have certain like benefits for certain waves. It's a really good idea, but I couldn't really like pin it down at the time. And now after working on Magic Black a lot, I'm like I kind of like I can see it. So I really want to make a caravan with this style, just to get it done, because I think it's a really cool idea, and I love the idea of just you switch the tanks and the position. So what the caveat is that where you switched off, that's where that tank is. And so, I'm not sure about the position like on the height for the Y, but for the X position, that's true. I was kind of playing with the Y position always being the same. Like you could be up here, and then if you switch to this, then if you swap back, they'd be up at that higher position that you start at. But it kind of doesn't work. You'd have to disable hitboxes. It's not worth it. So that's that. And then the final one is the Rocket Witch, which is the proof of concept demo kind of thing I was working on that eventually became Magic Black, which is sort of, again, it's a vertical game. The funny thing about Magic Black being a horizontal game is sort of like a funny circumstance, because I didn't mean for this to despite how much I love horizontal games, I didn't mean for that, because for me, just not having resources, I wasn't gonna make a horizontal game, and then I ended up making assets, and I'm like, oh, I can do this. Actually, let's go full in. So this is the original concept where I was like, I can't do it, and so you have a Gradia style setup where it's like that you have options move around, and these options work the same way as in Magic Black when you have the shield orbs, where as you store up power, those shield orbs can protect you. In this one, the power goes to options, so you can absorb stuff with options. And you have this mode and you have the spread mode, right? And the spread mode's slower. This is a bit more cave-like in some sense, I think. Whereas the tank game, like the slowdown was more just like, you have to slow down. It's like a disadvantage. You have to slow down to set up a certain situation. This is a slowdown because, they have lasers and stuff like that, and then if you drop that, they go down, and oh, it crashed. Ooh.